Welcome to the IT Tutoring for You channel, guys. I am your guru. My name is Kareem. Welcome back. If you guys aren't already familiar with what's going on right now, this is a continuation of a series that has began in my previous videos. If you haven't taken a look at those previous videos, I suggest you do so that you understand what's going on. But for you guys that have been following, then you know that today we're going to be installing the DHCP role on the server, getting it configured so that it's able to be used to address IP addresses to any workstations that you do configure to this network that we're creating. So I know you guys don't like a lot of talking. I'm going to get straight into it. Without further ado, let's make this happen. So as you can see, I have the server manager here. You can tell that there's still some things that need to be completed because in the notifications tab, there's an exclamation point inside of a triangle that lets us know that there's work that needs to be done. Now, what we're looking at here is that DHCP configuration needs to be completed. So what you're going to do after you click that tab is click the complete DHCP configuration. What that's going to do is open up the DHCP post install configuration wizard, because like I said, if you see my previous videos, then we've already installed this role. But of course, there's still some things that need to be done. So once you have this open, you're going to click next. After you click next, you're going to make sure that this box is checked, which it should be by default. And what you want to do from there is click commit. Now, what's going to happen here is the server needs to be authorized to handle the DHCP server role. What we need to do at this point is just click close. Once all of this is done, your DHCP server should be authorized to handle the role that you've assigned it. You want to click close. And the next thing you want to do is actually launch DHCP. Now, you see I have it on my desktop. It won't be on yours. It probably won't be in your taskbar either, but that's because that is just how I set mine up. You can add yours to make things easier wherever you need to place it. But what we want to do is open up DHCP, and this is how we're going to get it configured. So you want to maximize it just so you can see things a bit better. You want to right click on DHCP. You want to add server. You want to click this box here which says this authorized DHCP server. You want to click on the server that you have and click OK. Now you have authorized your server to dish out IP addresses to any device that accesses the network or connects to the network. So you want to click this, expand IPv4, but you can right click on IPv4, click new scope, and this is how we set up the scope. What the scope is it's just the range of IP addresses that the DHCP server is able to provide to any workstation that needs an address. So we're going to call this scope sandbox scope. I'm going to call mine sandbox scope, but you can call yours whatever you want. After you have sandbox scope set up, you want to click next. All right, so this is the important part, guys, so I really need you to pay attention here. This is what we're going to do. So if you looked at my server, you know that my server has the IP address. I'm going to show you guys 192.168.1.1. If you aren't familiar, you can look at this for the first time. So you see the address scheme for my device is 192.168.1.1. I'm not sure why the default gateway is blank, but we are going to fix that right now. I'm going to click OK. It's using a loopback because it's actually the same exact address, which I guess technically makes sense, so we'll leave it the way it is. So once you have that set up that way, and if you aren't familiar, you got to check out my previous videos and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. So the start address is going to be 192.168.1, which is our subnet. We're going to start leasing addresses at .10. So any device that gets ready to connect to this network is going to receive a .10 address. At minimum and at maximum, we want it to get .20. I'm not going to have a whole network on my computer. I probably will only have 2 workstations at most. So one's going to get the .10 and one's going to get .11. So as far as the configuration settings that propagate to DHCP client, this is all perfectly fine. You can leave that alone. What you want to do is click next. There's no exclusions and delays that we want to add. So you can click next. The lease duration is perfectly fine at 8 days, so you want to click next. Configure DHCP options, leave it at yes. That's perfectly fine. Click next. The router default gateway, that is going to be this particular server, which is 192.168.1.1. If you're unfamiliar with what I've just said, just know that you're going to put in the IP address of the server that you're using now. So you want to click add. After that, click next. All of this is perfectly fine. Click next. Win servers, WINS servers, we can leave that the way that it is. Click next. And what we want to do lastly is activate this scope and click finish. So now this scope is active. You now have a working DHCP server. If we were to have other devices on the network, the other devices would show up here. Hang on one second if I get that right. They would show up here inside of leases. So if I were to add another device onto this network, i.e. a workstation, and put it on the VMnet 10, which this is on, and you would know that if you watch the previous videos. So again, if you haven't seen those, make sure you check them out. But if you have them on VMnet 10, what's going to happen is you will see it show up here because it is on the same network. VMnet 10 almost acts as if it's a switch, as if you're connecting it to a switch, and with it being connected to that switch, it's going to get the same IP addressing as everything on that particular VLAN. So you would see it show up in here. Now, with that being said, that pretty much concludes setting up DHCP. You know, a few simple steps, nothing too complicated. The next video will touch on setting up DNS, which is also just as easy. Now, guys, if this is your first time on this channel and you like the video, or even if you're a returning subscriber to the video, then give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to get lots of updates. I try and make these videos as easy as possible, as informative as possible. If there's anything that I forgot, make sure that you drop a comment. Let me know what your question is, and I'll be sure to reply. But that is all that I have for you guys. So I will see you guys next time. It's been real. Peace.